You think relationships happen by chance, like you just bump into someone one day and suddenly have this deep, unshakable connection? No, that's not how it works. The people who have truly meaningful relationships didn't stumble into them, they built them, piece by piece, habit by habit, choice by choice. And that's the part nobody tells you. You are not just a passive player in your relationships, you are the architect. Every interaction, every decision, every time you choose to show up or to stay silent, you are laying another brick in the foundation. The truth is, the kind of relationships you crave don't start with finding the right person. They start with you becoming the right person. That means looking in the mirror and asking the hard questions. Am I someone I would want to spend time with? Am I trustworthy? Do I listen? Or do I just wait for my turn to speak? Because the energy you put out is the energy you attract. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real. People don't connect to the perfect version of you. They connect to the human version, the one who admits mistakes, the one who owns their story instead of hiding it, the one who actually cares enough to be present. Think about it. When was the last time someone looked you in the eyes and you felt like they were truly there with you? Not scrolling their phone, not distracted, just present. That's rare. And that's exactly why it's magnetic. You want meaningful relationships? Stop chasing people who aren't available and start showing up for the ones who are. Be the kind of person who follows through, who remembers the little details, who asks, "How are you really?" and waits for the real answer. That's how trust is built. That's how connection grows. And here's the kicker. You can start today. You don't need more followers or a bigger social circle. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room. You just need to be the most genuine one. People can feel authenticity. They can sense when you're there for more than just what you can get. And when they feel safe with you, they'll stay. Not because they have to, but because they want to. That's the real secret. You're not just attracting relationships, you're earning them. Most people think meaningful relationships are built on big, grand gestures, the surprise trips, the expensive gifts, the over-the-top declarations of love or loyalty. And sure, those moments can be nice, but they're not what holds a relationship together. The real glue is in the small, almost invisible habits that happen over and over again. It's the consistency, the reliability, the tiny choices you make every single day to show someone they matter. Think about the people you feel safest with, the ones you'd call in the middle of the night if everything fell apart. Are they the loudest in the room? Probably not. They're the ones who have proven time and time again that they'll be there. They answer when you call. They check in without being asked. They remember the details that matter to you, even when you think you never said them out loud. That's not luck. That's intentional effort. We live in a world that celebrates the flashy, the instant, the viral. But in real life, it's the steady, quiet effort that builds something unshakable. Every meaningful relationship is built on trust, and trust is built one small action at a time. Not once, not when it's convenient. Every time you want people to stay in your life. Stop showing up only when it benefits you. Start showing up because you actually care. And let's be honest, consistency isn't glamorous. It's not Instagram worthy. Nobody's going to applaud you for remembering someone's favorite coffee order or sending them a thinking of you text on a random Tuesday. But that's the point. You're not doing it for applause. You're doing it because it's who you are. Because when you make someone feel seen and valued in the quiet moments, they'll trust you in the loud ones. You also have to understand this. Relationships aren't just about being there when things are good. Anyone can show up when life is easy. The real test is whether you're there when it's hard, when they're messy, when they're distant, when they're not their best self. Those moments are when people remember who stood beside them and who disappeared. And believe me, they don't forget. If you want to attract and keep people who matter, stop trying to impress them and start trying to understand them. Listen without planning your response. Ask questions without an agenda. Care without keeping score. It's not complicated, but it does take work. Work that most people skip, which is why most relationships stay surface level. Here, quote S the truth. The depth of your relationships will always match the depth of your effort. If you only give a little, you'll only ever get a little. But if you're willing to show up fully, without conditions, you'll attract people who do the same. And that's when it stops being just a connection and starts being something that lasts. Because in the end, people don't leave when they feel valued. They leave when they feel forgotten. Here's the thing. Most people get wrong about relationships. They think maintaining them is all about never messing up, never having conflict, never disappointing the other person. That's not only unrealistic, it's impossible. You're human. You will make mistakes. They will make mistakes. Misunderstandings will happen. But what actually determines whether a relationship survives or dies isn't the absence of conflict. It's how you repair after it. Repair is the unsung hero of every strong relationship. It's not sexy. It's not fun. It's uncomfortable, sometimes even painful. But it's the bridge that takes you from we're in a bad place to we're even stronger than before. And yet, so many people burn that bridge without even realizing it, because their pride gets in the way. If you've ever been in a fight with someone you care about, you know the feeling. Your chest is tight. Your brain is replaying everything they said, everything you said, and you're silently building a case in your head about why you were right. You want to defend yourself. You want them to see your side. And maybe they do owe you an apology. But here's the truth. Most people don't want to hear it. If you value the relationship, you've got to be willing to go first. Going first doesn't mean taking all the blame. It means being brave enough to say, I care about us more than I care about being right. That one decision can change everything, because the moment you drop your armor, you create space for them to drop theirs. And that's when real conversations can happen. Repair is also about owning your part. Even if it's only 5% of the problem, you'd be amazed at how much walls come down when you simply say, I shouldn't have said that, or I could have handled that better. Those words are powerful because they tell the other person, you matter to me more than my ego. And let's be real, most people never hear that kind of humility. You have to remember, relationships are not about winning. If you're trying to win an argument, what are you actually winning? A little boost to your pride. Meanwhile, you're losing closeness, you're losing trust, you're losing the ease between you. And rebuilding that is so much harder than swallowing your pride in the first place. Sometimes, repair is as simple as a text. I'm sorry for how I handled that. I care about you, and I want us to talk. Other times, it's a face-to-face conversation that takes hours, where you both sift through the hurt until you find your way back. Either way, the point isn't perfection. The point is effort, consistent, humble effort. And here's something that'll save you a lot of heartache. Don't wait. The longer you wait to repair, the deeper the wound gets. Silence rarely heals anything. It usually makes the other person feel ignored or unimportant. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, reach out. Say, I need some time to think, but I want you to know I'm here and I care. That one sentence can keep a door open that might otherwise slam shut. The people who have the deepest, most meaningful relationships are the ones who are willing to have the hard conversations. They don't run from tension. They lean into it because they know tension is where growth happens. Every time you repair, instead of retreat, you build resilience, both in yourself and in the relationship. And yes, repair takes humility. It takes patience. It takes the willingness to feel awkward and exposed. But ask yourself this, which feels worse, the temporary discomfort of admitting you messed up, or the permanent loss of someone you truly care about? One is a sting, the other is a scar. When you choose to repair, you're sending a clear message. You're worth it. That's what people remember. Not that you were perfect, not that you never argued, but that you showed up when it mattered most. That's how relationships last. Not because they never broke, but because they were repaired over and over again until they became unshakable. Because here's the truth. Love, friendship, trust, they're not built in the easy moments. They're built in the messy ones. And when you learn to lean into the mess with courage and care, you stop fearing conflict. You stop fearing mistakes. You realize that every rupture is just an opportunity for a deeper connection. If you're brave enough to take it, there's a reason some relationships feel alive, safe, and magnetic, while others slowly fade into the background. It's not luck. It's not just finding the right person. It's the way both people keep showing up. Not just when it's easy, but when it's inconvenient. Consistency is the heartbeat of any strong relationship, and yet it's one of the first things people stop prioritizing once the excitement wears off. Think about it. In the beginning, you're all in. You call, you text, you listen with full attention, you make an effort to learn the other person's world. But over time, life crowds in work deadlines, family responsibilities, stress, fatigue, and before you know it, the relationship is running on autopilot. You're still there, but you're not present. You're in the same room, but you're on your phone. You're talking, but you're not really listening. That's how closeness dies. Not with one big blow up, but with tiny, unnoticed moments of disconnection. And if you're not paying attention, you can lose something precious without even realizing. Relationships thrive on small, consistent actions. A quick thinking of you text in the middle of the day, remembering their favorite snack and bringing it home, actually putting your phone down when they're talking. These things sound small, but they add up to something massive. The feeling that you matter. And here's the truth. You don't find time for these things. You make it. People make time for what they truly value. If you wait until life slows down, you'll be waiting for it. The reality is, strong relationships aren't built when you have free time. They're built when you decide to invest in them, even when you don't. Consistency also means being dependable in your energy. Not perfect, not always cheerful, but steady enough that the other person knows they can count on you, even on your off day. When someone knows you'll keep showing up for them, not just when it's fun or convenient, that's when trust takes root. That's when they exhale and think, I'm safe here. This doesn't mean smothering the other person or being available every second. It's about quantity. It's about being intentional with the time and attention you give. If all you have is 10 minutes, make it the kind of 10 minutes that leaves them feeling seen, heard, and valued. Too many people underestimate how quickly neglect can grow into resentment. If you keep saying, I'll call them tomorrow or we'll spend time next week, eventually next week never comes, and you're left wondering why things feel distant, cold, or strained. The truth is, connection fades when it's not fed, and the only way to feed it is through consistent, deliberate action. I know some people will think, but I'm busy, I have so much going on, and I get it. Life is full, but ask yourself that if the relationship ended tomorrow, would you wish you had made more effort? Would you wish you had said the words, made the calls, shown up more often? If the answer is yes, then you already know what needs to change. Consistency is love in action. It's choosing to keep showing up, even when you're tired, stressed, or distracted. It's deciding that the people you care about will never have to guess how much they mean to you. And here's the kicker. When you make someone feel consistently valued, you don't just keep the relationship alive, you make it grow. You create something so rare, so deeply rooted, that it can weather almost anything. Because at the end of the day, relationships don't crumble from one big failure. They crumble from 1,000 tiny missed moments, and they flourish from 1,000 tiny moments where you chose to be present. The choice is yours, every single day. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is assuming the other person automatically knows how they feel. We think, well, they should just know I love them. They should know I appreciate them. But here's the reality. People can't read your mind. They can't feel your gratitude unless you express it. And unspoken appreciation is the same as no appreciation at all. Think about it. How many times has someone done something for you, big or small, and you felt thankful? But you never actually said it out loud. Maybe you thought it was obvious. Maybe you assumed they didn't need to hear it. But the truth is, everybody needs to hear it. We all want to feel seen. We all want to know that our efforts matter to someone. The difference between a relationship that's just fine and one that feels alive often comes down to one simple thing: the habit of expressing gratitude, not just on birthdays or anniversaries, but in the middle of ordinary days. Thank you for making dinner. I appreciate how hard you work for our family. It means a lot that you always check in on me. These moments might take 5 seconds, but they create a ripple effect that can last for years. Here's the thing. Unexpressed appreciation turns into assumed expectations, and assumed expectations eventually turn into resentment. When someone keeps giving and never hears a thank you, they start feeling invisible. They start wondering if their efforts even matter. That's when cracks form in the connection and the slow drift begins. Gratitude isn't just about politeness, it's fuel for connection. It tells the other person, I see you, I notice you, what you do is not lost on. And when someone feels valued, they naturally want to keep showing up. They naturally want to give more. That's the beauty of it. Gratitude creates a positive cycle. You appreciate them, they feel good, they do more. You appreciate them. It's the simplest way to strengthen a bond, yet so many people skip it. If you want to know the fastest way to make someone's day, here it is. Tell them specifically what you appreciate about them. Don't just say you're great. Say, I love the way you always make me laugh when I'm stressed. Don't just say, thanks for everything. Say thank you for always believing in me, even when I'm doubting myself. Specificity is powerful because it proves you're paying attention. And here's the truth, it's not enough to feel gratitude privately. It's like having a gift and never giving it. The other person can't benefit from what's still in your head. You have to say it. You have to show it. That's when it becomes real. People don't remember every conversation you have with them, but they will remember how you made them. And feeling appreciated, that sticks. It's what makes someone play your words in their head days later. It's what makes them smile at random moments. It's what builds trust and warmth over time. Sometimes we overcomplicate relationships, thinking we need grand gestures or endless free time to make them work. But so much of what makes a relationship thrive is in the little moments. A text in the middle of the day, a quick hug before leaving, a simple, I'm proud of you. These tiny things, repeated over time, are what makes someone feel loved and secure. If you want to keep a relationship strong, never let a day pass without expressing some kind of appreciation. Even if you've had a hard day, even if you're tired, even if you assume they already know, do it anyway. Because the day you stop showing appreciation is the day the relationship starts to feel colder. The people in your life deserve to know exactly how much they mean to you. And one day, you'll be glad you said the words while you still had the chance. Because nothing you can give someone will ever be more valuable than the feeling of being truly seen. And that's something you can give every single day, starting right now. One of the hardest truths to swallow about relationships is that love alone isn't enough to keep them strong. Love is the starting point, yes, but it's not the glue. What keeps a relationship alive over the years is effort, daily, intentional effort. It's not about doing something huge once in a while. It's about showing up consistently in the small ways that matter. Think about it. When you first meet someone, you go out of your way to impress them. You plan dates, you send sweet messages, you listen intently to every word. But over time, life gets busy. You get comfortable. The urgency to nurture the relationship starts to fade, not because you care less, but because you assume the connection will just stay on its own. It won't. Relationships are living things. If you stop feeding them, they wither. The couples and friendships that last aren't the ones who never fight or never face challenges. They're the ones who keep putting in the work, even when it's inconvenient. They don't wait for the perfect mood or the perfect timing to show they care. They do it anyway. They understand that effort isn't a one-time down payment. It's a daily investment. Effort can look like different things. Taking a few minutes to really listen when the other person talks, leaving a note on the counter, checking in during a stressful day, remembering the details they told you weeks ago. These moments might seem small, but they send a huge message. You matter enough for me to pay attention. And here's the thing. You can't half commit to effort. Doing something thoughtful once a month and coasting the rest of the time won't cut it. Consistency is what builds trust. Consistency is what makes the other person feel safe. And safety is what allows real intimacy to grow. Effort also means showing up when it's hard. Anyone can be loving and attentive when everything's going well. But the real test is how you act when you're stressed, tired, or frustrated. Do you shut down, or do you still make the other person feel like a priority? Because those moments, The hard ones are where people start deciding if they can truly rely on you. It's easy to underestimate how powerful the small daily gestures are. You might think they already know I care, but over time, lack of visible effort starts to feel like lack of care. And here's the truth. Most people don't want to admit neglect doesn't happen in one big moment. It happens slowly, in the skipped conversations, the forgotten check-in, the little ways we stop showing up. Effort is also contagious. When one person consistently shows up with love and attention, it often inspires the other person to do the same. It becomes a cycle of giving, instead of a cycle of taking each other for granted. But someone has to go first. Someone has to decide, I'm going to show up today, even if I don't feel it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get it right every single time. But you do have to keep trying. You have to make the choice to nurture the connection instead of assuming it will take care of itself. Because here's the truth. Relationships don't fail because two people stop loving each other. They fail because one stop trying. If you care about someone, don't just tell them. Show them over and over again in ways that they can see and feel. Because love without effort fades, but love with consistent effort, that's how you build something that not only lasts, but grows stronger year after year. When it comes to relationships, most people think the end goal is just to find the right people, but that's only half of it. The real challenge and the real beauty is in maintaining them. And that doesn't happen by accident. It's about intentional choices over and over again. You can't just show up when you're in the mood. You have to show up even when you're tired, even when life feels chaotic, even when you don't feel like you have anything to give. Relationships fade when take them for granted. When we assume the other person will always be there without us putting in the energy we did in the beginning. But meaningful connections thrive when both people keep choosing each other, not because they have to, but because they want to. And here's the thing. It's not about perfection. You're going to mess up. You'll have moments you wish you could take back. But if you own it, if you make it right, if you stay committed to growing together, that's where trust and depth come from. Because at the end of the day, the strongest relationships aren't built in the easy times. They're built in the storm.